Today is June 12, 2013 on a Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And up next, this is your Fukushima Radiation Report. Let's begin with the first report. Asahi, locations and condition of melted Fukushima fuel is unknown. Mainichi says 450 tons of scattered radioactive rods, unknown, where holes in reactors are. Plans may be delayed. This is published June 11, 2013 at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time by E&E News. Asahi Shimbun, June 11, 2013. The workers have yet to gain a grasp of the locations and condition of the fuel debris. They have yet to develop extraction equipment and determine removal methods. The Mainichi says, June 11, 2013, uncertainty over the location of melted fuel inside crisis-hit Fukushima No. 1 nuclear power plant continues to cast a shadow over plans to remove the fuel at an early date. Reactors No. 1 through 3 at the plant contained a total of 1,496 rods of nuclear fuel in their cores. Each fuel rod weighs about 300 kilograms, and a high level of technical expertise would be required when undertaking a remote control operation to cut up and retrieve clumps of scattered radioactive materials weighing a combined 450 tons or thereabouts. The cores of reactors at the Fukushima plant have holes, and the task at hand is finding which parts have been damaged. In a news conference on June 10, a representative of the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industries Agency for Natural Resources and Energy said that bringing forward the plans would be dependent on developing technology, and suggested that the plans might even end up being delayed. And you can also see this report if you wish. And let's go to the next report. Study says Fukushima fuel burn up spread over entire northern hemisphere's middle latitudes. First time measured in southern hemisphere. This was published June 11, 2013 at 12:46 p.m. Eastern Time by E&E News. The title is an overview of Fukushima radionuclides measured in the northern hemisphere. The source is Science of the Total Environment. The authors are these individuals, and the date is August 1st, 2013. The Great East Japan earthquake and tsunami on March 11, 2011, resulted in the tragic accident at the Fukushima nuclear power plant and subsequently uncontrolled release of radioactive contaminants into the atmosphere. The radioactive gases and particles released in the accident were dispersed over the middle latitudes of the entire northern hemisphere, and for the first time also measured in the southern hemisphere. Isotopes of iodine and cesium were detected in air, water, milk, and food samples collected across the entire northern hemisphere. Elevated levels of fission products were detected from March to May 2011 at many locations over the northern hemisphere. The activity ratios of 131 and 137 cesiums and 134 cesiums and 137 cesiums measured at several locations are evaluated to gain an insight into the fuel burnup, the inventory of radionuclides in the reactor, and the isotopic signature of the accident. It is important to note that all of the radiation levels detected outside of Japan have been very low and are well below any level of public and environmental hazard. What do you think of that statement? They're saying it was very low and it wasn't a public and environmental hazard. That's questionable, isn't it? Okay. And you can check the full study right here if you click right there on that link. And let's go to the next report. Wife of Japan's pro-nuke prime minister says, I'm opposed to nuclear power. My heart aches to see him selling nuclear power overseas. This was published June 11, 2013 at 9:18 p.m. Eastern Time by E&E News. The title is Nuclear Advocacy Lands Abe in Hot Water with Wife. The source is the Japan Times. The author is Kanako Takahara, and the date is June 12, 2013. HT Anonymous tip. Nuclear Advocacy Lands Abe in Hot Water with Wife. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe may be pushing to sell Japan's atomic plants abroad, but his wife, Aki, doesn't seem to be on the same page, saying her heart aches to see him being pro-nuclear. "I'm opposed to nuclear power," she said in a June 6 speech in Tokyo. "My heart aches to see him selling nuclear power overseas." An ex-radio DJ, Aki Abe, said she will say out loud what her hubby may not want to hear. "I'm the opposition party at home." And you can see the full report if you click right here. And let's go to the next report. The AP says TEPCO not sure where melted Fukushima fuel has fallen. Radiation levels still too dangerously high. This was published June 12, 2013 at 5:31 p.m. Eastern Time by E&E News. Title: Fukushima plant steps closer to fuel rod removal. The source is AP. The author is Malcolm Foster, and the date is June 12, 2013. HT Anonymous tip. Journalists were given a tour of the plant on Wednesday. TEPCO showed off a massive, nearly complete steel structure designed to help workers extract more than 1,500 fuel rods from a damaged reactor building, Unit 4, at the center of international concerns. The rods will be transferred to a joint cooling pool inside a nearby lower building. After that project is completed, TEPCO will turn its attention to removing the melted fuel from the reactors of Unit 1, 2, and 3. The company still isn't sure exactly where the fuel has fallen inside the reactors, because radiation levels remain dangerously high inside the buildings. And you can also see this report if you wish. And that's going to do it for your Fukushima report. Please stay safe. Pink out.